Hello everyone, welcome. Oh, camera's over here. That's the problem. I've got the camera slightly off axis from the screen, and whenever I go to look at the screen, the camera's actually over there. Hello. How's everyone doing? I've done it again. I'm gonna have to watch this. Hope everybody's good. It is just gonna be myself tonight, so if anyone else is tuned in expecting any of the other members of Ghastly Tales, you'll be sorely disappointed and you may want to leave now. How's it going everyone? Court Magician? Mimi? How's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. It's been a while since we've been on doing any kind of stream related stuff. Triforce Wielder, how's it going? Which part of the Triforce are you? Can't remember. I think was it Wisdom, Courage, and Power? I think 3 of them. Might be wrong. Yeah, so been a long time since I've done anything streaming related or Ghastly Tales related. I was in the middle of working on the next Ghastly Trails, and I managed to get hit with a bit of COVID, so it's no good. It's particularly bananas as well because I managed to make it the whole way through, like the last 2 years, without getting any, and I was fairly convinced I was immune to it, and then obviously get hit with it. So I think I must have tempted fate. But also, one thing I've realised I've thought in the past, one of the main issues I've had. Now, I'm not going to say the drinking itself was an issue because there certainly hasn't been any streams in the past where the drinking's caused issues, but I've definitely noticed in the past there's been issues where I've got up to go and have a drink, and obviously there's been dead air. So one of the problems we've got is that, say for example, I don't have a drink just now, so if I'm to move all the way back over to here to get a drink, obviously I'm miles away, right, and you can't really hear me. Oh, you bastard. Oh, I had this all synced up. Of course it would have to go wrong. Hold on. Oh my god. It wouldn't be me if there wasn't like a massive fuck up with the... It's because it's disconnected, isn't it? Oh, I've got a wee separate keyboard and everything, but for some reason it disconnects, so I'm just going to have to do it manually. This is so disappointing. All my flair and artistry's gone, but yeah, what can you do? Anyway, now sure I desire to get up, I can get up here, and I do now have a setup here right next to the fridge, so that makes things a little bit better. However, in the future I'll find out what kind of timeouts on that keyboard or something and get that sorted, because I should be able to transition midpoint and I'm not happy with this. It's not good. Anyway, let me just set up so quick hold before heading to work. Awkward Evie, welcome. Oh, work, no good. And burned the pizza because you couldn't smell it. Well, I was incredibly fortunate that just a wee thing for everyone, anyone that's got ASMR. I was going to actually stick a wee bit of music on. You guys can tell me if this is too loud or anything. It's a fake royalty-free John Carpenter playlist. So hopefully people like this, and if they don't like it, then vote with your feet and leave or shout at me. Hello P-Camp, how's it going? So you had it, yeah, so I got incredibly lucky. It seemed to only like kind of affect me for a few days. I was pretty bad for those 3 days, and then lo and behold it kind of went away. I was actually filming the next Ghastly Trails. A little bit of a spoiler. I was filming in a cave and I started feeling like really, really shit, and the weather was kind of bad at that point, so I think it was like -3, -4 in the cave. And I just started feeling really shit, and I went home, and I'll even get them for you. Maybe have a good night at work, if that's even possible, or day, whatever time zone you're rocking. Hold on, let me see if I can get them. These are the genuine article, if this will focus. So there's your proof positive. So yeah, that sucked, and that kind of like threw everything out of whack for a bit. But yeah, I'm healed up, and Michael got it at the same time, so. Awkward Evie, you enjoy yourself as well. Wait, have I got confused? Oh, I've misread it. Mimi, you're not going to work. It's Evie that's going to work. Apologies. Anyway, good luck with your work. But yeah, how's the music with it? It's not too loud or anything. I did test it before to make sure that it should be okay, but you can never do. Never be too sure with these things. So how's everybody been? I feel like it's been a while since we've had one of these. We're going to try and do these more regularly. Mike's going to try and do them himself, and hopefully I'm going to be able to do some stuff with Mike as well. So that'll be on top of the other stuff we're doing. I know we've said a million times we're going to be doing stuff, but we generally do have things in the work. And the new episode of Ghastly Trails is actually on its way. I've got a wee bit more filming to do for it because I wasn't 100%. Don't play it loud, else the YouTube police will. Well, it's royalty free, fake John Carpenter, so we should be okay. Oh, I've just noticed that the lights over there pulse. I guess it's something to do with the frequency because they are not actually pulsing in reality, but that's quite pleasant, isn't it? Things my side of the pond have been good, very busy, hence why I've not been on here, but back in February, I had some surgery, so and it was kind of abdominal, so I had to get like a few incisions. So I was out for, I don't know, recovery for that. Well, it's still kind of ongoing, but like I couldn't really do anything for at least the rest of that month. I think it was like 7 weeks or something before you could do heavy lifting, and I definitely wasn't doing anything before that. So that took me out for a bit, and then I was getting back to doing stuff, and the Ghastly Trails has been great from the point of view. That looks like that might be... Is the mic a little bit loud? I think I'm just a very loud person, as we know. Let me just turn this down a wee bit. You guys can let me know if it's too much, or well, I've just completely fucked it. Anyway, yeah. So Ghastly Trails, starting that back up again has been really good because it's been letting me get out and get back on the bike and do stuff. And then just after that, I got hit with COVID, so that was kind of a spicy 1-2 punch. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Michael had COVID for a spell as well, which some of you may know. We post up about that. But he's doing a lot better too, so yeah. From that point of view, it's pretty good. I'm trying to work out what to do next. So Michael and I have got a few Ghastly Trails planned ourselves that we're going to do together. And then I've got a bunch planned too. I'm still planning to do a pretty decent sized trip at some point and properly do one of a decent length. So that's something that you can look forward to. Or not. What else is coming up? Michael's got more of his audio stuff coming up. Obviously, there's talking till Mark. Did Martin avoid it? I'm sure Martin had it. I'd have to double check. He's not had it recently, but I'm sure at one point over the whole COVID debacle, Martin's had it. I'm pretty sure. The Martin of Ghastly Tales doesn't exist anymore. We've got Multiverse Martin now. Multiverse Martin exists over on Talking Till Dawn, and that's also Multiverse Michael, which is so there's two versions of Michael, but there's only one version of Martin. And they're over there. It's very complicated. I don't want to get into it, but there's the Michael verse and there's the Martin verse. I'm sure they'll get into it in the next Talking Till Dawn, but maybe I've spoiled an episode, but I don't know which reality version of Martin got COVID and when he got it, but if you ask him on the comments of the next Talking Till Dawn, I'm sure he'll clarify that. Oh, so what's everyone up to on a Friday other than coming and seeing this idiot? It's a very rare occasion that I'm actually not doing anything on a Friday. I'm off next week, which I'm very much looking forward to. I just thought I'd take it easy tonight because I don't want to spoil myself, you know? It's very easily done. Oh, I'm really upset about that stupid keyboard. I think for some reason it's got like a really, really quick like power off. And like if you walk away from it, like if you leave it for too long not doing anything, it powers itself off. So I guess that's part of it, but I know it's you, Jackie Boy. I've seen a couple of your commentary stuff. I was impressed with how prolific you've been. But I mean, that's maybe what do you call it? That's maybe just because we're not particularly prolific that anyone else looks to be prolific. But yeah, I noticed you've done a ton of stuff, commentaries in a very, very short period of time. So well done. Oh, is he back? What's he doing tonight? I haven't seen it for a while. It's been over lockdown. Like I used to watch back in the day, um, like the early Joe Bob drive-in stuff on, oh god, I can't remember what network it was on in the UK. I think it was some Sky channel, but I used to really like that back in the day. And I think Darcy, who's his kind of I don't want to say assistant, but he's because she seems to do quite a lot. She does all the social media and stuff, but I believe he's got a Patreon going, or she's got a Patreon going at the moment, where they're going to try and like remaster all the old episodes of Monster Vision. So that should be good. And yeah, but he's come back to Shudder. I watched quite a few of the Shudder stuff, like over lockdown when you can really do anything. There was a bunch of us kind of regularly meeting up, watching it. My friend, she's got a Shudder account, so we were watching it all on hers. And some of it was quite good. Some of it was pretty ropey. I think the one, I'm trying to remember which Halloween one. It was one where they kind of made like a bunch of kind of, well, I don't want to say clues, but they've made a bunch of suggestions that they were actually going to have Halloween 3 on, and then they didn't end up having Halloween 3 on, and everyone was kind of a little bit disappointed. No, Halloween 3, Halloween 2, Season of the Witch. So that was supposed to come on, and it never did. And I think a lot of people got a bit annoyed, and I think me actually, I can't remember what it was. It was a pretty shite film that was on in its place, but we ended up turning it off and just watching Halloween 2. But, Meat Juice, how's it going? Only pay for it during Joe Bob stuff and then cancel it for a while. Yep, that's fair enough. That was pretty much the only thing I was watching on Shudder as well. I got really fucked off with Shudder actually, because it's bad for saying that it's got stuff on it and then you go and try and watch it and it's not there. And it's not just a case of like, oh, it's on the American version or on the UK version. I went onto it with a VPN and checked it with a bunch of stuff, because there's a show called Ghostwatch from many years ago that we've talked about countless times, and that they said that was on it, and I was, oh fuck, I'll go and watch Ghostwatch, and it wasn't on it, and I was not impressed. Though I think at one point they had there's a film called, I want to say, it's got a few different names, but I think one of them's like is it Code Santa Claus? Maybe someone can Google this for me. Something like that. It's a French film, but it's a French film about like a killer Santa Claus and this little kind of bit, and it predates Home Alone. Predates Home Alone. This little boy in this house trying to deal with it. So, and I'm sure that might actually be on Shudder. Even if it isn't, whatever the French title is for it, I'd strongly recommend going and trying finding it for yourself. It's particularly good. Mostly because you're watching it, you're just like, because I think probably having things like Home Alone and stuff in your head, you're like, oh, this is only going to go so far. Fucking goes right off the end of the pier, the cinematic pier. Right, let's see what else. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat, trying to catch up. But yeah, Joe Bob is definitely one of the main reasons. I think it's almost exclusively what I watched on Shudder. It's kind of a weird format though, because I think if you go back, like, I mean, he's getting old, but I think Joe Bob's definitely not anything like as impassioned as he was. And I think Darcy is usually tweeting when she's on it, so like sometimes the two of them are on it and it's like super low energy, particularly when you go back and watch like the old Monster Vision stuff. I know he was a younger guy, but he definitely seemed a lot more enthused about it. And some of the stuff, like the guys that they've got involved in it stuff now, it's like it's pretty ropey. Like you're watching it, and you're just like, you're not really bothering your arse guys, but they're getting a paycheck out of it. One of the best interviews, a really good old Joe Bob interview, is the one that he did with Cassandra Peterson, better known as Elvira. And she just walks rings around them. It's pretty interesting to watch. I think he's quite a bit younger there, so I think, I don't know, he seems like a guy that's not, maybe it was just the point he was at in career, but I think generally he's probably quite a bit of an introverted person. He did do stand-up comedy as well. You can go and find that online, but yeah, she just walks all over him. Yeah, Old School Monster Version was awesome. I don't know what state this Patreon's in that Darcy was running, but I know she's definitely, I think they're trying to get hold of the original masters to like release like a new version of Monster Vision, because at the moment the only way you can get it is if you go back and get a hold of like these ones that are like on oh god, what's it on? It's on like it's just VHS, like VHS and DVD and stuff like that, like the versions that are up there. So I've just noticed the audio's not actually playing anymore. That's weird. Oh no, wait. I guess it's just down too low. Sorry if I've just like chucked that up way too high. This is the only problem with this stuff is like I don't have a designated like streaming setup or anything, so like every time I set this up, like I'm setting up something totally new, but I'm worried that I might have just turned that up too much now. You guys can let me know. Yeah, let me just have a look and see what the state with Darcy's Patreon is. Talk amongst yourselves. So I haven't heard anything about it for a while, but there's definitely like episodes online. Oh, I hope this isn't gonna like start playing stuff because it's gonna come up. So like on YouTube, there's a guy called Joseph Biggers on YouTube, and he's got like a ton of old school Joe Bob stuff. So if you're actually looking for stuff, that's a really good place to go. I have to say, I don't know what the price for Shudder is now. I've only ever had it on like either used someone else's or had it on a free trial. I've never actually paid for it. I'm actually kind of reassessing what I'm going to be paying for now, because I mean I've got, I think between me and the rest of our family, we must have every single streaming package, and I think Netflix has now just gone up to like £16 a month, that's for the 4K one, but it's pretty spicy. I barely even fucking watch it, to be honest. It's a lot of moolah. What did they just put? I think, now I could be wrong. I'm sure I heard some buzz about it, but I'm pretty sure they just put Taboo onto Netflix, and that was a show that came out. Oh, was it like I think 2017 or something? Maybe before that. Tom Hardy TV series set in the kind of Victorian era, kind of turn of well, actually, it was kind of, yeah, it was like the later parts of the 19th century. Anyway, well worth watching. Really, really good. Properly dark, and there's a lot of really, really cool stuff in it. Very good vibe and well acted. Tom Hardy mostly just does grunts, but it's got a very good energy to it. I massively recommend checking it out. I'm sure it's on Netflix. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, like, there's the cheaper ones. I think you can get like the standard Netflix and stuff like that for, I don't know, is it like £7 or something like that? Which used to be way lower. I think like the basic Netflix used to be like £4 or something like that. Shout out as well to when it used to be a fucking mail away DVD company. Remember that shit? Um, but yeah, the price has gone down a long time. How long has Ghastly Tales been running for? Now you're asking, because Michael was doing it well before the rest of us got involved. I want to say, I can't remember the first thing that I did with Ghastly Tales, but I want to say maybe around 2015 or 2016, maybe. That was maybe earlier than that. Maybe it was like, I think Michael started doing it about 2012. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you can go to the channel and you can see the when it started. But I think it was maybe it was 2014 or something. I did like the first stuff with Ghastly Tales. I don't really remember. It's been a long fucking time. Oh, how's all your writing stuff going? I think, did you say earlier on you were doing a stream as well? Seems like everybody's streaming these days. I think a lot of people start doing stuff like this, like in YouTube and things over lockdown. It's just something to avoid going absolute bananas. I'm very, very disappointed that I'm not going to be able to get up and press the little keyboard that I set up. Which means I'm going to have to now change it at this point, which sucks. Hold on. And now I have to come all the way down here rather needlessly. Hello, button. I had actually looked. I don't obviously do enough streaming and stuff these days to justify it, but there's like like AI cameras and stuff that you can get now that will just like if you gesture to them, they'll know where you are, and then they'll like follow you around the room and stuff like that. That'd be alive. Cool. Guys, fucking hell, Gary, how's it going? Things are. Oh fuck. Oh, I thought I got a Guinness, but I've just opened an ant. Oh dear. This is a dangerous fucking. I'm supposed to get up like super early, and I've just opened the. Oh fuck. That's what I get. That's what I get for not looking. At this time in the evening, I should not be. Oh fuck. Oh well, better not waste it. That's rain. Total body fuel. Orange dreamsicle. Zero sugar. 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is the highest they can give you in what to call it, in one dose in the UK. If you get the American cans, they're 300 milligrams, which I once found out to my fucking detriment. God. Nah, you see, the problem is it's fizzy, so like if you don't drink it the night, you'll be fucked by the morning. Oh, I can't believe I've done that. So needless. What a needless thing to do. Oh, the Salvador. I have not yet watched this. I was talking to Jackie Boy about this. I can't. I feel like I've seen over the years. I've seen so much stuff of the Savile, and this Savile kind of works because he has a kind of a monstrous entity. But I feel like I've seen so many different things looking at him, and it doesn't change the fact that the fucker got away with it. So it's kind of grim. Sleep schedule. My sleep schedule's non-fucking existence anyway. I'm supposed to be getting up at non-6 o'clock tomorrow morning to go and to do a cycle and to actually get a couple of the last shots for this next Ghastly Trails. And then later on, I'm going out. But yeah, fucking hell. Can't believe I've fucking done that. Contributes to the reduction of the fatigue. Well, I'll be fucked. There you go. I wasn't planning on for this stream to be super long or anything, but now it's going to be like a 7-hour stream. I don't think any of you guys will still be up. It'll just be me fucking hitting my head off the wall. Few fucking faces that I've not seen for a while anyway, even if they're just the tiny wee chat emblems. But good to see that people are still alive. I think that's probably one of the main things. It's good to touch base. It seems that so I'm actually on Mac at the moment, and like I'm not going to get into the very very boring fucking details of it, but oh wait, it's doing it again. What the fuck's going on? Like, it keeps like looking like the audio stopped, like the fucking the music stopped, but fucking I don't want to get it. You call me 3.5 hours, right? I work night, so well there you go. Getting up earlier, never going to sleep. Same thing. That's true. I mean, it's one of the. I mean, I've genuinely over COVID, like over the lockdown period, like there was points where I was like flat out nocturnal. But even then, I don't know. I do a thing where I'll just not sleep, so I'll just like be up all night, and I'll get up and fuck about all during the day, and then I'll go home, and then I'll just not sleep, and then I'll fucking do it again. And I don't know. It's dangerous. Give it a few days, and you get to that kind of sleep deprived state where you start. It's dangerous. You stand next to people on the road, and you're thinking, I might push them in front of a car. So that's where you go when you finally force yourself to sleep, unless you accidentally drink fucking energy drinks. Jesus Christ. I shouldn't have put that on the same shelf. That was the dangerous thing that I did. I put it right next to the alcohol. Actually, I wasn't actually going to drink that Guinness necessarily. I've got this stuff's really really nice, right? I'm not sponsored or anything. I wish I fucking was. If I'm been sponsored by booze, I'd be fucking dead, right? But it's tequila, right? And I know a lot of people be like, oh, I better not spoil that for anyone that's read it, but you'll be like, oh, tequila, I hate tequila. That's what everyone always says, right? But I really like tequila with tonic, right? But this stuff, coconut. See these little coconuts at the top? Coconut tequila, right? That with a little bit of tonic. Yes, please. So I may yet have some of that. And for those that haven't seen it, that is a dragon filled with brandy behind me. So yeah, all the treasures. 4 days, Jesus Christ. Like, did you get even any like naps or anything? Though I think you've got kids, plural, singular, if I remember correctly. So I mean, you probably got more of an excuse. I've just my brain's just melted. You've been reminded of Colin. Who's Colin? All in a very tasty caterpillar cake. Yeah, I keep always thinking that I bought it partially as a joke. You can get them in Costco, right? They used to be a bit jazzier, and I was kind of annoyed that I never got the cooler version of it. But I've always thought about putting lights through it, but there's actually a wee bit of light going through it just now, which is quite funky. Let's see what I've missed. Oh, tomorrow night's 7 p.m. 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. So what's that? 10 hours. So like on a night shift, on average, like, are you quite busy? Because I know some people that like night shifts seem to vary massively. Because I know some people in production that run night shifts and they're kind of reasonably busy. I know some people that work in supermarkets on night shift and they're really busy, and some aren't. And I know some people that work security in night shifts and they're fucking doing nothing. And on the fourth day, you're rested. 4 RTH. It probably did feel like a 4 RTH day at that point. Oh, I can't believe I'm still in utter disbelief that I managed to fucking do this. So I am hoping to get back along with the Ghastly Trail stuff. Sorry, getting back to do some of the actual like live stream stuff out in the wild. But it's difficult in Scotland. Like, there's a lot of logistics involved into it, and a lot of the areas that you go to, you can't stream because the internet's fucked or whatever. And there's a lot of like technological stuff that you really don't want to fucking know about because you'd be bored to tears. But my plan is to do more of that shit because I do actually, as much fun as it is sitting here chilling with you guys, it's quite fun to go out and do the ones out and about. Constantly surrounded by mannequin dolls during your night shift. Ooh. That sounds slightly ominous. So I'm gonna assume either some kind of like storage facility or I'm thinking some kind of clothing place. Don't dox yourself. Don't dox yourself. But I hope it's not like the movie Mannequin. I don't think I could deal with that either on a night shift or a day shift. Thank you very much, guys. Only on that one. None of the previous ones. Oh well, that's fine. Yeah, no, it was quite good actually. I was lucky. What to call it? I was lucky managing to get up, particularly on that day. I've got a bit of a thing. Like I don't have like anxiety or anything filming around people because I do it all the time. But I think I don't like to get disturbed when I'm doing shit. I kind of, in a way, it's like, although it's also like a job. It's a job. I get paid fucking money to do it, but there's like a kind of cathartic hobby-esque version of it for me. So like, I don't really like to fucking get disturbed when I do it. So I'd rather people just like went on and just did their own thing and like left me to it. In the same way, like you get a lot of people that are entitled as fuck. Like a lot of the time, I might do stuff. People will be like, "Oh, sorry, am I getting in front of your shot and stuff like that?" And like generally, like people can do whatever the fuck they want. Like I'm not one of these people that's oh fuck's sake, someone walked into it. 'Cause it's like the entitlement with some folk is fucking unreal. Because it's like there's no way you should be getting fucking wound up about people like in a public space, like walking in. But particularly when you're doing stuff and you're filming at places and you're like you've got the drone out and stuff like that, you're always getting people like coming up like. And I mean the last one when I was up at the Kenmure Hill Temple, if you guys haven't seen that video yet, it's on the channel. Hopefully, people seem to have enjoyed it. It's kind of a funnier one. I think one of the things about the ghastly trails you'll probably find ongoing is there'll be some of them that are a bit more steeped in kind of like a horror aspect of it, and then some of them are just kind of going to be more interesting places with a vibe. But the whole idea of the place in general was kind of like, or the series in general was going to be places that people could go and visit that were kind of interesting, I guess. Not all of them are going to have like a properly like macabre side to them. But yeah, like I was up that fucking hill at like 6 in the morning, and there were still like hill walkers turned up that wanted to ask like a million questions. I don't mind talking to people, but sometimes it's good to just like get out to the middle of fucking nowhere and do stuff and just be filming and not have to fucking talk to folk because you're just like trying to zone out and do it. But it's the way it is. It's unfortunately it's part of being society. You have to expect the fact that people are going to want to come and fucking speak to you. Unreasonable bastards. Though I have to say, I was in filming the most recent one. I was down a cave just along from the kind of Sonny Bean cave that we did like the documentary at before, the one with Martin and the other one, and some people turned up to this cave and were talking about it, and they started telling me about Sonny Bean and everything, and they were like, "Oh, there's this documentary on YouTube you can watch," and it's like, they were like, "Oh yeah," they're like, "It tells you all about it," and they were fucking showing me the Gas Tales documentary. Obviously, I'm not on camera; it's Martin, but I was just like, "Oh yeah, I don't really watch stuff like that," and they were like, "Oh okay," thing, and I was just like, amazing. Looks like an idiot. I wouldn't list them. Ghastly Tales, bag of shite. Make a short on that topic. We don't have them officially yet, but Alan and I have started to work on t-shirts again. This is not a Ghastly Tales t-shirt, honestly, yet, but we've got a couple of respective t-shirts on the fire, so to speak. Not that they're made of asbestos or anything like that. I still, honestly, I know I keep coming back to it, but I'm drinking this just now, thinking my night's going to be fucking hell. I'm going to need to like sign up to like a 24-hour gym or something. Actually, I'd never go back to that. I was talking. That reminds me. I was actually telling Michael about this the other day. I used to go to one of the local Pure gyms, which is like a chain here in the UK. And it was a 24-hour gym, and this would have been quite a few years ago because I haven't been to that gym for many, many, many years. And it was a 24-hour gym, and usually I would go after about 10 p.m, sometimes later on, because the hope would be that it would be a bit more chilled out later on. There'd be less people on, especially if you want to go and do weights or whatever. So basically, the problem was that a lot of other guys had the same idea, so they'd all kind of rock up as well. So, but generally, it was a lot quieter than kind of peak times, right? So I would go to this place, and I remember one time, I was upstairs, and there was me and this girl, and she was on the treadmill, and I was on the exercise bike, kind of behind her, and I was kind of like, so like the exercise bikes were set up looking this way, and so I had my back pointing this way, and I was looking directly at her, and she was kind of like trying to make eye contact with me, and I was like, all right, what's she up to? I was like, I'm not interested right now. I've got my fitness on. I'm in the fucking pain zone. Anyway, she was like desperately trying to get my attention, so I was like, this is definitely not a flirtatious thing. So I kind of like, I was like, she's kind of gesturing, so I looked behind, and there was a gentleman in the corner that was doing what I can only describe as very, very, very aggressive self mutilation from a pleasuring standpoint. So it was only the three of us at this point, and after a certain point of time in these, like, time of night in these like pure gym places, they don't have any fucking staff on. So she kept looking at me, and I was like, fuck's sake. So I was like, I saw this guy, so I was like, for fuck's sake. So like, I got up and went and spoke to her and said, like, right, I'm gonna leave and go to a different part of the gym. I would advise that you come with me. Because I was like, there is no way I'm going over to confront that guy, because it's only going to end one potential fucking way. Someone's going to release some energy. So we ended up leaving and went downstairs, and that was it. That was the last time I ever went to that gym, and now I've gone to another gym, which needless to say, well, quite a few years ago. Needless to say, that's never happened since. But yeah, on that subject, because I was going there at like 10 o'clock at night or whatever, like after a long day of work or whatever, I'd be taking these, and I just wasn't sleeping at all. There was actually a point where I was getting the bus from Glasgow to Edinburgh to go to work, and I was getting the bus at like, well, I don't know, like 5:30 in the morning, maybe 6 if I was lucky. And the bus would take like an hour and a half, and I was like sleeping on the bus there and then sleeping on the bus home, and no good. No good. Old pot of coffee. You know, I've never actually taken melatonin, but I know a lot of people that swear by it. I did at one point take XMAs, which was it's like a sleep enhancer. I know it sounds like total nonsense, but that actually worked quite well. I think I still have some left. I kind of stopped doing it eventually. Some of that stuff really adds up, but I know a ton of people that swear by melatonin. The only time I took it was I think, when was that? That was last year. I went to a festival, and it was the first festival. I guess it was August 2021. It was the first festival that happened in the UK during COVID, I guess. And yeah, at one of the nights we all ended up getting given melatonin by one of the matriarchal members of the group, and you know, I did sleep quite well, but I don't know if I slept well because I had the melatonin, or whether I just slept well in general. You never know with these things. But yeah, long story short, I know a lot of people that swear by it. You drink a whole pot of coffee at night and go to bed. Yeah, see, it affects people differently. I mean, I've got ADHD, so I would definitely say that like caffeine, stuff like that. I mean, I'm like super alert a lot of the time anyway, but like caffeine, particularly at night. So I would say on average, I normally go to the gym for like, I maybe get there about 8:30, and then I train till about 10 o'clock, and I'll take, well, I'll go and get it. You guys will get a kick out of this. I'll maybe switch to the other camera. I fucking, see if I had that little keyboard doing it. I was so fucking pleased with myself earlier on. Now I'm raging. Right, hold on. I'll go back. Oh fuck, where have I put them? This is gonna feel like I'm on like a, oh fuck, what are they called? Like, you know, like the shopping channels, right? So usually I'll take this stuff, Abe, which is really, really good, right? This pre-workout. So I've got two different ones. I've got cherry cola here. This one's pretty much run out, and energy, which you can see they've just completely fucking ripped off Red Bull's like branding and everything there, but it's really good. And this stuff is basically just cocaine. Most people, if they took it, would just fucking die instantly. Some of the stuff, that stuff's not so bad. I'll stop talking until I get back to my seat. But some of the pre-workout is incredible. incredibly spicy, and it's not made for conventional mortals. But I used to drink an absolute ton of coffee when I used to work in a studio, because I would get up and I would go to work, and it would maybe be like, I don't remember when I started, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, whenever what it was. I'm trying to think back, but I would go in the morning. There was a coffee shop downstairs, and I'd get like a large coffee from then. You'd go in, you'd fucking, people throughout the day would make you like 2 or 3 coffees or whatever, and you were just drinking them because people were making them. Like a lot of the time, like people don't even fucking ask you. So I had like, so I'd maybe had like 4 coffees by lunch, and then at lunch, like if I didn't get one at lunch, I usually got a free coffee in the morning. So I got at least one free coffee from this place during the day. So I'd usually end up buying one at least and getting another one free. So that'd be 2 large coffees. Then later on, and it was like, it wasn't just from a hyper perspective, but I find like later on when you drink too much coffee, you're just like, it just starts melting your insides. That might just be me, but I don't mean from the point of view that I had to go to the toilet. I just mean from the point of view like you can actually like feel it inside you, like fucking you up, and you go, I've definitely drank too much of that. And it might be an old lifestyle, but I do also remember someone telling me that if you drink a bunch of coffee and you don't have milk with it, coffee in its own, black coffee, because I just drink black coffee, can apparently decalcify your bones. That's what I was told. But that might be total shite. I can't believe I fucked that. I should have used that opportunity while I was up to get another can. I was unwise. Let me default back to the. I'm still angry as well. It wouldn't be a Ghastly Tale stream without some element of shambles in it. We're always fucking foisted by our own fucking ambition. For anyone wondering what that is, that's where the monsters live, and that's where all the intrusive thoughts come from that I have. So, I should have bought 2 of these. These are Iron Brew Energy, which are actually alright, and I very rarely have them, because I normally drink these because there's no fucking sugar and all that kind of shit in them. But these have a bunch of fucking sugar in them, and I maintain, despite the fact that they're fucking energy drinks, they're actually the closest you can get to old school Iron Brew. Controversial opinion, but... Right, cool. God, I wish I had that fucking keyboard. Yeah, I don't know. That was something I was always told. It wasn't like by a milk salesman or anything like that. It was just someone that generally said to me that an abundance of purely black coffee can decalcify. Spicy noise, that, isn't it? But yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see everybody coming back in. It's kind of funny as well, because it's like I find the streams are like a little time capsule, because a lot of the time it's like the same people that return to come back, but sometimes we get some new faces and stuff like that. But it's cool to touch base with people, and I need to try and I need to try and do these more regular. And I know we always kind of say stuff like that, but Mike's been trying to set himself up so that he can get involved in doing stuff like that. And I would say that it's kind of funny for us, because I guess like we're not. Ghastly Tales has kind of pivoted at different times in terms of the kind of stuff we've done, and we're not like a purely streaming channel or anything. I tried to get on with Twitch, and I just like, there's a few people I watch on Twitch. Obviously, I watch Steven and the like. Also, anyone that's not in the Discord, there's a link in the description, which is where we normally hang out. And that's probably the main place to go for Ghastly Tales related updates. But yeah, there is a few people I watch on Twitch. And there's some interesting streams and stuff that go on. Also, I get my monthly Twitch Prime, which often it's one of those things. I try and spread it about a bit. Sometimes people get it for extended periods of time. Stephen got my Twitch Prime stuff for quite a while. Now giving it across to a channel called, this month anyway, the channel called Terry Barronson, which is he's a cyclist in New York. He does a lot of really cool videos. He's got a Twitch channel which I jumped across over there. But yeah, there's some cool stuff on it, but I think, I don't know, I prefer streaming to YouTube personally. I know there's more stuff on Twitch in terms of like rewards and stuff for the viewing audience. There's more, but YouTube are trying to copy them. I don't know how successful they're going to be in the long run, but from like a quality perspective, like YouTube's way higher than Twitch. The what to call it, the bit rate and the quality and stuff like that's a lot higher. But Twitch have got a lot of really good stuff implemented for the chatter, and I think there's probably more rewards for a viewer over on Twitch. So I can understand why a lot of people choose to view over there, because you're more rewarded for your time. You can get like little chat badges and stuff like that. Like on YouTube now, if you get like you can get channel memberships and stuff like that, and that's something we might do on this channel at some point. I think we'd have to. Channel memberships are like you can pay like a monthly fee, and you get access to like special videos, and you get like a little badge in the chat to say that you're more special than everybody else. But I think if we ever came to do something like that, we would definitely have to like have like a backlog of enough stuff to feel worthwhile, because I definitely wouldn't want to set something like that up if we didn't feel that people weren't getting their money's worth, because the majority of stuff that we do is always, the way it's been on Gas Tales, it's always going to be free anyway. On that note, there was a few people that actually did donate after the last Gas Trail streams, or not stream, fucking episode, sorry. So thank you very much if you guys are watching. I'm not going to say any names specifically because you might not want to get fucking put on blast, but you know who you are, and if you do want me to name you specifically, then you can drop me a line and I'll do it. But obviously we appreciate everybody who watches, and we're not holding anyone to fucking ransom anyway. So, and especially these days, where it's a rough and awful time trying to fucking live these days. So we certainly don't expect people to fucking be ponying up. You really missed the tabletop streams. Do you mean the bloody board games, the kind of like the board game stuff that we did? We might go back to. Do you know what I keep saying? I've said to Michael and stuff in the past. I think that's one of the biggest issues we have. I think ongoing it's going to get better. Michael's just been really busy with stuff. In terms of like. Like just life and stuff like that. So it's really hard for us to get together. Michael actually hasn't been in Glasgow. Like I haven't seen Michael in Glasgow since like before lockdown, so like 2019 probably. So I think now things are starting to go back to normal. In the UK, you don't have to wear masks anymore, and you can kind of hook up and meet up. Hook up. I think people were doing that as soon as they were fucking able to before. But yeah, you can kind of meet up and stuff like that now. Obviously, Michael and I will be hooking up. I've just let it slip there, but so stuff like that should be happening, like in person stuff again. But it'd be cool if we could. It'd be cool if we could actually get that stuff going. That stuff would probably work pretty well for the streams. I reckon that we could definitely, I guess in the way that we did the Call of Cthulhu stuff in the streams, which I might be telling a lie, but I'm pretty sure Michael still has the next episode written out or planned out for that. So, that might actually be a way to come back. So I think probably ongoing with the stream stuff, I'm going to try and do the like on location Ghastly Trail streaming, we'll probably have some of these kind of like catch up streams like ongoing because it's really good to just come in and chat with you guys. And I think the board game stuff would be like a really great way of like coming back and bringing that back because the kind of nice part of it is because the problem with like filming the board game stuff is like you shoot it with multiple different cameras and stuff like that. So when you've got to come back and edit it, it can take quite a bit of time, and we don't always have a shitload of extra time. So doing it as a stream's quite nice. Although there's a little bit of stuff that you have to do at the time in terms of like cutting between different cameras and stuff. There's a little bit more you have to do live. You've got like a finished video at the end of it with all the stuff in it. So doing that as a live stream is actually quite attractive. So that could definitely come back. Oh, Mimi, thank you very much for the. Again, that wasn't a hint for anyone to drop any cash, but thank you very much for the. Is that? I guess that's a sheep, right? It's a dog. They do look quite fox-like, those little dogs. But thanks very much. But yeah, so I think that's definitely the thing to watch. But I think Ghastly Tales is kind of funny as a channel on their own because like we Mike and I, and particularly in some of the other channels that like we've been involved in before, like we've kind of always really wanted to we've always kind of done our own thing, but we've kind of wanted to work off the principle that a lot of the subs that we would get and we would cultivate, and we've been really lucky with a lot of the people that have ended up viewing us are people that seem to generally want to watch us for us, which is great, and we really appreciate that. So I think, to be honest, with like Ghastly Tales, I think if we'd like focus doing one thing, like the documentaries, for example, because like the Sony Bean one, the first Ghastly Tales of Scotland one, did really well. So I think if like the channel just purely done that, maybe it would have been better. If it had purely done the narration stuff that it started out doing, probably would have been better as well. Because some of the narration stuff is like extremely popular. But I think we've always kind of bounced between it, and I think I can totally understand why like a lot of people would just be like, ah, fuck that, because like every time like a video gets uploaded to Ghastly Tales, you never know what it's going to be. It's kind of a bit of a riot, and it's a bit random. So like I can understand for a lot of people why they would look at it and just be like, fuck that. And I get the same thing as well. I mean, I don't tend to like unsubscribe to people, but sometimes you get more variety channels, and sometimes you'll get a video and you'll just be like, that's not fucking of any interest to me. There's a rumour going around on YouTube about who Bible John is, other than Peter Tobin. Also, welcome Jack Sparrow. Best of luck with your court case. What's the script? I must say I've only got kind of surface level knowledge of the whole thing. I should really add, between you and me, I've not even actually watched the or listened to the Talking Till Dawn episode on it. Although shouldn't really admit that, but yeah, I've got a little bit of cursory knowledge on it, but not exhaustive. And that's the other thing I would say as well is like, although Talking Till Dawn is over on it's on its own channel. That was partially born out of the thing as well, where a lot of the people that were watching Talking Till Dawn, understandably, probably weren't interested in the other stuff as well. So it's kind of got its own little forum over there. But the only problem that's come off the back of that is there's obviously some old school Ghastly Tales viewers that for a while were like, where the fuck has Talking Till Dawn gone? And they thought this series had ended, but actually it's kind of carried on going. So that's just a little reminder to people. We should probably, I've kind of said that periodically we should like upload maybe like a little trailer to the channel, or do like a little community post of like an episode just to fucking let people know that it's on it. But I don't know how much some people like see the community posts. That's one of the weird things. So you can do those things where you can like post up an image with some like text on it and stuff like that. But in my experience, like it seems to be a little bit random whether or not you actually get to see it. Chuck's but he left Glasgow in the 70s, got the same. That's all I know. Seen it on a channel. Alright. Okay. Unfortunately, neither Michael nor I are here to do it, but I don't know if you're on the Discord or whether you want to chuck. I don't mind if you want to chuck the link to the channel or whatever in the description. I can fire it on to probably Martin would look into it. I can't remember off the top of my head which one of them wrote, because Michael and Martin take it in turns to write the episodes of Talking Till Dawn, so one of them will go away and research it and stuff like that generally. So it tends to vary between them who was actually directly involved in writing a particular episode. So I wouldn't want to say one of them did it and not give credit to the other one. Yeah, but yeah, I've actually, there was a few things I've kind of tried to do that haven't got onto the channel yet. I was trying to do. I went out and filmed a few times. Oh, I don't know if I can actually. My thing isn't plugged in. Will it be on the other one? Hang on. This might all go tits up. No, actually, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But I was wanting to try and do like an actual tour of, because I did a stream a long time ago of just walking around Glasgow showing like a lot of the different horror hotspots. And that was quite popular, and I tried doing that one again at night on the bike, and I got some footage, but I kind of might actually go back and redo it because I want to change some of the stuff up. So I wasn't sure if I was going to make that video or a stream. That could actually be a stream as well. So partially, there's some cool stuff. I was going to do one in Edinburgh as well, but there's certain areas where there definitely isn't coverage. So the idea of like riding around and filming it might be an issue if it's live stream, because you might go to certain points and you lose the connection. So what I was potentially thinking of doing is going round the cities, filming everything, then bringing the footage back, editing it together, and then doing a live stream with probably Michael or Michael Martin or one or the other, and then doing some live commentary over it, and then that way the footage is already there and it's at home and there's not going to be any connection issues and stuff like that. He was really the orange numpty. Maybe she's talking about Donald Trump. But yeah, so there's a few different things that I'd like to do. To be honest, I get a lot of um, I got a lot of a kick out of trying to do different stuff, and because part of it, for obviously for me doing video stuff as a job, like when I go and do the filming stuff, it kind of I'm not saying that like I never do anything that's not strenuous or tough from a filming perspective for the channel, but I like to do stuff that's a wee bit more interesting so that I can then so it's a kind of a release in a way, not a release in the sense of that gentleman that I was talking about at Pure Gym, but yeah, so like stuff that's a little bit more creatively liberating. So I try and do stuff that's a bit different, but the flip side of that is I get pretty pissed off when I try something and it doesn't pan out. So it's a kind of a double-edged sword in that sense. So yeah, that's something I quite like to do. Because I think one of the biggest issues is I'd love to do like a lot of the content live, because the live exploring stuff I really kind of quite enjoy. For those that haven't seen it, probably the main one that we did that was like actually successful was the one where we went to the fairy forest. I might actually go back and revisit that if there was enough demand for it, because I'd like to go back with better equipment now that I've got and do a better quality stream there. But a lot of people really loved that stream and it was a good time and stuff like that. And I really like going to a space and doing that live, because the beauty of that is that people can come with you and there's that level of interaction and people don't necessarily know what's going to happen, because the thing about pre-edited content is people make the assumption, unless it's a found footage movie, that if the footage has been uploaded, the people that uploaded it are probably still alive. But not to say that every place we go to there's a chance of death, but it's kind of cool if you can go to a place and people are watching it live and things happen and people get quite invested in it. Have you ever been to the Edinburgh Vaults? I have a few different times. There's a bar in Edinburgh called the Banshee Labyrinth that we actually filmed a couple of the shots for the Burke and Hare documentary in. It's a really cool place in Edinburgh, and it's got it's a bar upstairs or a pub, and then downstairs it's got a little cinema. And then downstairs is like a dance floor, and it goes down multiple levels. And then beneath that is the vaults. For those that don't know, Edinburgh's actually a city that's built on top of another city. So basically, the old slums they just built on all level directly on top of it, and you can go down into the old cities. There's a great clip of I don't know if you guys are familiar with Zach Baggins of Ghost Adventures, but he went to the Edinburgh Vaults and he's kind of sitting down in it, and he basically kind of freaks out at one point because it's like, oh, I can hear dragging and stuff like that, and it's like midnight, which is clearly upstairs in the Banshee Labyrinth, the pub, locking up and moving the chairs and kind of tidying up. But he's like, oh no, I can hear them, I can hear all the ghosts, and you're just like, dude, shut up. But he is tremendously entertaining, and he does have a very wide collection of hats. It'd be cool to go somewhere like that. The only problem with something like that is that trying to get an internet connection down there, I don't really know how that would work, but if I could actually go down there and if I could go down there and do a stream overnight in the vaults, I'd be 100% down that. I'd happily sit down there on my own and do that. Wouldn't have a problem with it. There's supposed to be quite a few malevolent things. It's a very big industry in Edinburgh, the tours. There's a lot of different places they take you around. I always remember going on a Ghostwatch when I was quite young, and they took you through one of the graveyards, and they take you into this little mausoleum bit, and everyone kind of stands together, and they basically have everyone gathered around, and in this particular walk they had a guy who was one of the I guess one of the staff, and he would creep up. So basically there was a guy in the mausoleum with you, and he was telling you a story about the local area and some of the people that were buried there and things that happened, right? And he'd be talking away to you, and this other guy would creep up, and once he got to the apex of the story, he would jump in and everyone would get scared, right? But there was a wee old woman standing at the doorway, right? That didn't really want to come in, right? And she could see the guy coming up, right? So the whole time she was like, oh, there's a guy coming up there. And the guy that was doing the tour was like, oh, no, there isn't. Don't worry about it. She's like, oh, no, there is. So she was giving that the whole way. So by the time he finally gets up and jumps in, oh, boo! Everyone's just standing there looking at him as if to go, the fuck are you doing? Completely ruined it, but that was way more entertaining. So you've got catacombs under your city. Very interesting. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. A lot of these places, the kind of old structures that exist under it. I think they've actually just reopened some of the tunnels underneath Edinburgh that were I think maybe old railway tunnels or aqueducts. I need to double check, but yeah, I'll double check. Jackie, if you're still in, I've just remembered I've the watch that I've got on tonight, Evoc Focus. This is a variation of Ripley's watch from Aliens. You might dig that. It was an Italian designer called Guigario. I might have completely bastardized that name, but this is just a different version of it. But it's quite funky. I suppose it's technically a women's watch, but yeah, it's fascinating to see the history stuff, and I think a lot of that stuff people forget. Glasgow has two buildings that are little rotundas. So they're little they're like big huts essentially, but they actually were the two ends of the River Clyde that we have going through Glasgow, and they connected a bridge either way underneath the Clyde. So it's actually quite a cool spot. There's a ton of stuff. There's also like a bunch of Glasgow has tons of like Victorian underground stations that are completely and utterly shut off. One of them's over in the Botanic Gardens that they've been talking for years about converting into a restaurant or something, but they've never done anything with it. It is a shame actually when they've got these kind of like really interesting places and they just kind of sit there and they don't do anything with them. But yeah, for sure, I think it's one of those ones I'd need to find out. I think like particularly doing stuff in like the Volks and stuff like that, you'd have to know somebody. I guess like I think a lot of the tour groups have kind of almost got like a monopoly on that kind of stuff. But I think maybe I don't know. Maybe if you paid someone enough money, you could go and use it for a while. I'm not saying like they hire out the Volks for functions or whatever, but it's probably a scenario if you knew someone you could probably get in on it, because particularly from the tourist point of view, it's big business in Edinburgh, all that. But yeah, so that's something I've definitely been thinking of, because the Edinburgh one in particular, there's like a ton of places you could go to. So hopefully at some point I'll get round to like filming that, and I'll go all around the city. Because the kind of cool thing about doing stuff like that, I thought, is if I can do like a tour of like Glasgow and Edinburgh, say on the bike, and film it and upload it, I can kind of point out all these spots that we might come back to later on, or we will come back to, and do like ghastly trails dotted around, so you can get kind of like a geography, I guess, of the area. So I kind of thought that might be a cool idea. What time is it? 11:10. I only planned to go on for like an hour or two, but now I'm hoping that energy drink doesn't take effect, because if it does, I'm fucked. Especially if I've got the intention of getting up in the morning. Well, if you could, Jack, that'd be great. I'm going to assume you're based in Scotland, but yeah, if you could get us into some vaults or something like that, that'd be great. Not, I mean, obviously, like the main vaults in Edinburgh, not just like someone's fucking garage shed somewhere. I'm not. I'm not just getting locked in someone's fucking sex dungeon. Fool me twice. I won't be caught out on a third time. The I was going to wear another t-shirt tonight. This one, um, is this a Fulci? I think this is a Lucio Fulci. It's a film called Don't Torture Ducklings. It's pretty cool actually. Stand back so that people can get a full appreciation of it. But it's pretty funky. I've got another one that's uh, All the Colours of the Night, which is a Mario Bava one, but it's got a woman's nipple on it, and I didn't want to wear that because it would probably get us kicked off of YouTube, because they're very fucking precious about that kind of stuff. Grow up. Oh, it's the old sex dungeon trick. They get you in, they got a wee fucking noose on the ground, and they get you by the leg, and you're in every time. You seen Pulp Fiction? I hope I've got them the right way around. I'm sure Fulci directed Don't Torture Ducklings. Let me check. I'll have to revert my. It was Fulci. Thank God, thank God. And then the other one is All the Colours of the Dark, I think, which is a Mario Bava ones. Uh, Is it? It was Bava, wasn't it? Oh no, wait. All the colours of the dot. Oh no, fuck! It was Sergio Martino. I'm very, very, very wrong. Wasn't a Mario Bava at all. I don't know where the fuck I got that from. Needless to say, that's a very cool T-shirt. All the colours of the dark, and it's the Italian one as well. But like I said, it's got an apple on it, and I don't think they'd be particularly happy about me doing it. But oh, personally, I love a bit of yellow very much. It's kind of funny in a way because I think a lot of people, other than it's great as Argento stuff is. Um, when they look at Giallo, it's pretty much like Suspiria and stuff like that. And um, is that Suave? Would that be pronounced? Oh, terrible! If I did the church and set, I will definitely check that out. I've seen it before, but I've got a copy of fuck. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce stuff actually because if I don't attempt to pronounce it, I can't pronounce it wrong. How would one know it's a woman's nipple? It's pretty clearly a woman's nipple. It's through there. I don't necessarily want to go and get it, but hold on. I think YouTube frown on. Hold on. Let's see. It's in Italian, the version that I've got as well. That's blurry, so you can't really see it. I'm going to move that around, and then YouTube's copyright police, nipple police, can't get me because it'll never actually be in focus. But it's a good poster. You should check it out. But the version I've got's in Italian rather than. It's a pretty cool T-shirt. Oh, Phenomena's great. Phenomena also as well part of the influence for the game Clock Tower, which originally came out on the SNES and then later released on the PS1. A lot of music and a lot. The music's a huge part of it. Bands like Goblin and stuff like that. It's just creme de la creme. Oh, fuck! There was something else I was thinking of there, and it's just completely gone out of my mind. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Guinness. Though I did accidentally drink what to call it, an energy drink earlier on, which is going to kick in. It's gonna cause problems. I can't believe I didn't even look at it when I opened it. That note, I need to get another one. What's this little keyboard? Well, I'm gonna keep moaning about it, but it was again. It's another one of the things where my streams. I think if I could kind of like compare them to a parable of sorts, I would compare them to Icarus because I've got these lofty ambitions for ideas that I always have. As if having a fucking second webcam is a lofty ambition, but I have all these ideas that I want to fucking do, and they always just come burning down in fucking flames. But I always survive. Badly scolded, but I fucking survive. Just means I have to do the transition a lot faster. Ooh. So I have two more cans left. Well, no, sorry, including this, I have two cans left. So I was potentially going to tap in at some point to the tequila tonight, but I think I'll use these as the cut off. So when these Guinness are done, the stream's done, right? And if you'll permit me, I need to very quickly sprint back to the other setup because my fucking remote doesn't work. God, that's embarrassing. Oh, it's a terrible combination. Have you? There's a really really fucking shite movie called Contamination. That Goblin did the soundtrack for it, and particularly the opening title. Fantastic. you know what? There's been a couple of times where Goblin have been in. I think one time they were in Edinburgh and one time in Glasgow. They were in SWG3 in Glasgow, which, for those that don't know it, is a very famous place in Glasgow, which is kind of like a big warehouse. And there's a lot of people that go inside it to do drugs. Lots of them, and people that can't control their jaws anymore. If you want to get an idea of what we're talking about, but yeah, like it's a really really famous venue, and I used to go in there all the time to go to like events and like gigs and stuff like that. But upstairs they've got like a photographic studio that I used to work in quite a lot. Rent it out. They've got like a big infinity wall, which is like the big white walls you get that have got like a slope. You know, when you see like photographs of people in like endless white spaces or something called an infinity wall. So you've all learned at least one thing tonight. But one of the beautiful things was I was at a gig one time and there was a guy up against the wall whose like jaw detached from his fucking head. It was like all the way down. He was clearly on some particularly potent gear. And then the next morning I came into work and I was working upstairs and he let us in and I was like, fuck, that's the guy from last night. And he didn't look any fucking better, I'll tell you that much, but he still had the faculties to open a key. But anyway, long story short, Goblin at one point were playing in SWG3 in Glasgow because previously they'd been playing in Edinburgh and I was like, oh fuck, if they come to Glasgow I'll definitely do it. I don't know why I didn't go to Edinburgh at the time. All in fact, I'm not a massive fan of Edinburgh, but I was like, oh, if they ever come to Glasgow, I have to do it. And then I think there was something else going on, so I didn't end up going to SWG, but I massively regret it. But they came to Glasgow and they played in SWG3, and I didn't end up going, and I regret it. So if they come back to fucking any part of Scotland, it doesn't matter. It's one of like the remote fucking islands where they do like one boat a year. Fucking going. I have seen John Carpenter twice, live twice as well. He's an interesting guy to watch live. Clearly, his son Cody Carpenter is doing a lot of the fucking work these days. But it's just cool to see him. He does these kind of old man dancing where he kind of gets up like this, and he's got his little water bottle as well, and he drinks from that regularly, and he kind of does a little samba, and then he sits back down. It's quite endearing in a way. So I saw him in Glasgow Barrowlands and I saw him also in Edinburgh as well the first time he came to Scotland. And yeah, it was great. Really cool to see a lot of the stuff live. I suppose a lot of his stuff's very simple so he can still kind of play it, but these days he's kind of just like playing the main hooks on the keyboard and then he's like son and everyone else takes over. So have I ever been to the oldest house in Glasgow? Yes, I have. And funnily enough, one of the upcoming episodes for Ghastly Trails is the Necropolis, so I went past that the other day. I did a couple of shots that'll go in that. It won't be the next one, because Michael and I are actually going on a tour of the Necropolis. So we'll be on a bit of a fact-finding operation. We're not going to absolutely take all the information that the people put out in that tour, but we might take one or two little fucking factoids, little nuggets of information and pepper that into the video. But if the tour ends up being any good, we'll definitely put a wee thing in the description doing that. So I mean, you could literally make £2 to £3 off a Ghastly Tales recommendation. It's that valuable. You sound like me with the metal band I'm obsessed with. What metal band are you obsessed with? That festival I was talking about, which was August last year, which was the first big festival in the UK that they had, was a metal festival with Bloodstock. I went back to that in August. So yeah, well, that's what I was saying earlier on. I mean, the channel has become quite diverse. Mike obviously writes his own stuff, so Michael always be doing that stuff, and narration stuff like has always been thing. But I think one of the problems that we've got is probably the fact that the channel is a bit scarce. shot, but we're just kind of glad that there's quite a lot of people um, um, there's quite a lot of people that were have actually ended up coming in and liking everything we do. So we're very grateful for that. But I appreciate the fact that the stuff we do is all over the place. So and it's kind of cool as well that people have come in, especially like some of the Ghastly Trail stuff might not be quite as hardcore horror focused as some of the other stuff we've done, but we just appreciate that people are willing to kind of just give us the benefit of the doubt. But we always try and do stuff that's quite entertaining. I think that's one of the things that we've got is maybe there's always been an element of comedy to this channel. So it's with the Ghastly Trail stuff going forward, it's going to be trying to maintain that balance of actually having proper information in it and having comedic stuff. Don't know if you're allowed to post it here, but guys, someone thinks, yeah. Did you try and post a link and it took it out, or if YouTube's filtering the link? I don't know if you've got Discord or whatever, but if you go into the description, you'll see the link to it, and you can jump into the Discord and post it there if it won't let you post it here. That's probably the best way to get it always. Sweet Smith, Sabaton. I know Sabaton fucking well. I've seen them live. Sabaton are a lot of fun. Fucking big up the Panzer Elite. Yeah, Sabaton are tremendously entertaining. I think, funnily enough, when I was going to Bloodstock, I get endlessly fucking abused for this, but I looked at last year's lineup and I was convinced that Sabaton were playing this year, and I was like, oh, it's going to be great, Sabaton are playing. And then they were like, no, they're not, that's last year's. I was like, no, they're definitely playing, and we got there. And they weren't playing. Very disappointed. Yeah, no, if you've got the Discord, which should be in the description, jump in there and throw it, because throw us a link. Post in your last video, cool. Let me see, because YouTube's very, very funny about like links and stuff like that. Usually does it. I don't believe I've consciously put any kind of filter or anything on it, but it's really hard to say. But on average, YouTube tries to fucking stop stuff like that happening, just to stop what's got people from like coming in and spamming their own stuff. The other thing you can do, if you can be asked, Ghastly Tales at outlook.com. If you send an email to that, if you can be asked, you will definitely get through, and I can check that email there, just in case it's like been filtered out. But you have to be careful. YouTube warned you not to like your own videos. Oh, so what do they actually like pop up and tell you can't do that? Is that how interesting? I mean, I know it's one of those difficult things, isn't it? Because oh, hang on. I'm just checking the comments just now. I don't think that's come up. It's probably been tagged as spam. So if you can send me that email, I'll stick it in the Well, yeah, like likes is one of the funny ones as well, because I think obviously like when people see likes and views on something, they kind of make this they make a correlation that the video is worth watching because if other people have liked the video or watched it, it's clearly got to be best, right? But we all know that the fucking most viewed video isn't necessarily the best one. Oh fuck! I've accidentally hit the button. Hold on. Setting that to space is probably not a good idea. I have put the email address that's in it. If you could send me the link to that email address, I'll definitely have a look at it. But yeah, you'll probably find that any comments or like chat you try and do, unless you're like a mod or something like that, it won't let you, because a lot of people try to spam. I think there's kind of a case, obviously, on YouTube that some people try and spam their own stuff, but now the other massive issue is people going in and doing those like fake things where it's like, oh, if you click this link and go in, you can win a fucking prize and stuff like that. There's a huge issue with like spam on YouTube, so I think they're trying to be careful with that shit. Eyes Wide Shut video has gained momentum due to likes. Have to be careful, mate. You don't want to gain it too much momentum, otherwise they'll fucking be after you. Original Stephen, welcome. Welcome. It's going very well. It's going very well. I mean, all in the fact that I had this brilliant fucking thing set up. Well, I say brilliant, it's just another webcam so that when I went to go and get a drink, people would no longer have any downtime. And I had it all hooked up to a little fucking keyboard, but then the keyboard disconnected and now OBS won't accept it, so... But, you know, that's what it is. But if I press the button, there's now a fridge camera. So I did see that guy. I can't remember his name. I don't necessarily want to say his name, even if I did know it, but you should go and check it out anyway. But yeah, there's a guy who, yeah, as Jackie Boy said, actually orchestrated a plane crash. It was, oh fuck, what are they called? Begins with an S. Those like single engine, single propeller plane. It begins with an S. I can't remember, but like one of those very kind of basic planes that you would go and learn to fly and stuff like that on. But he basically like orchestrated, I guess, like an engine failure, and then gets out of it. A Cessna, that's it. Doesn't begin with this fucking S at all, but it sounds like it does. I'm pretty sure that's what he's flying, and he gets out of it and like jumps off of it, and it actually fucking crashes and fucking blows up shit. And but a bunch of people debunked it. Oh, I've embarrassed myself completely. Thank you very much to everyone else pointing out. I like everyone coming out of the. Is it with an S? Is it with an S or a C? Oh, could I be somehow redeemed? I have been in one. I've been up flying around in one before. I should know. It's a C. Fuck. I thought it was coming back. I thought I'd redeem myself. Oh well. There you go. Area Shifty Bun in the chat. We did talk at one point about going back and uploading a video to Area Shifty Bun and just not addressing the time that we'd been away doing it. It could very much happen. We still need to finish Secret Vlog X. I don't know, how many did we get up to episode 9 or something? I'm trying to remember offhand. I tell you something for nothing, if we do go back and do it, we'll not be bothering touching the fucking Netflix series. Jesus Christ. I saw one episode of that, it was fucking rubbish. Yeah, it could still very much happen. At one point, Mike's time out of the house is limited, but one day if we can get him out of the house, I'd definitely be up for doing another episode of that. I think it's only Alan that's got the login now. I don't think the rest of us can get access to the channel anymore. So as long as Alan can still upload it, we'll be fine. Is that music still playing? I guess it's like turned down super low, but some of the tracks I guess are maybe very quiet, but problem is now I'm starting to, that energy drink's kicking in, and with my kind of messed up brain, I've just now got like trance music playing at the back of my head, thumping. How many subs to kidnap Mike? You mean just like put him in a room and forcibly make him do videos all the time? I don't know. What we had, 25k subs? 25k subs, and I'll go around and drag him out of his house. If we can get 900 Oh no, wait, it's not even 900. Sorry, it's 889 subs in this stream. We'll go and kidnap him live. A car passed you today playing very loud jump still. Good lord. Did you get forced into a kind of a jump still type thing, like involuntary, like you couldn't really control yourself? You just felt your limbs going. Of course, it's all in the legs jump still. The upper body's important, but not as important. There. Oh. You feel the moves. It's infectious. It starts to pour through the body. I tell you what, this could be the last live stream that ever happens, because I was reading earlier on that Putin's on the brink of considering declaring war, so it'll be very sad. Wouldn't it be terribly sad if it, like, this is one of the last pieces of media that exists, and in the future they're trying to piece civilization back together, and they're like, is this what people did? Is this the day-to-day lives of people sitting on here talking absolute nonsense? I really hope that this doesn't become the singular record for human language. Certainly not a Bronte sister, I'll tell you that much. Not that I don't, not in the sense that I don't have TB or anything, I just mean in a literary sense. Should I jazz things up for the rest of the... The beauty of this is people get a little bit of a behind the scenes look. If I turn over there, you can see one of the lights. If I turn over there, you can see the other. That's quite cool in a way, because if I get this just right, it kind of looks like my eyes, doesn't it? Like I've got two wee kind of funny eyes. That shows the level of mentality that I'm working with. Press 1 in the chat if this is an improvement. Press 2 to get rid of them. Yeah, if there's a nuclear blast, which... does anyone ever... I don't remember the name of it offhand, where... what do you call it? I don't remember the name of it offhand, but there's a website you can actually go to that simulates blasts, and you can set it to different atomic bombs, and you can set your general area, and you set it to that atomic bomb, and it'll show you the blast radius for that. It's hours of fun. Definitely wouldn't give you anxiety if you had it. But 2, 1, oh, it's we've got conflicting information. But yeah, the if you go onto it, you can do all that, but Glasgow's going to be blown to bits, because for those that don't know, the exclusive nuclear arsenal for the UK is sea-based. It's all based in Trident submarines, previously Polaris, and a lot of them, or almost exclusively all of them, are in Scottish waters. We have a big base up at Fastlane, which is really not far up the road from Glasgow at all, so I'm pretty sure Glasgow will just end up fucking flattened. But to be honest, I think if a nuclear fucking war happens, you want to be amongst the first people to fucking die, because I don't think you want to be kicking around after it. Sweet. I heard siren on the radio the other day in panic. Oof. Fred's live commentary. I know. I tell you, if anyone hasn't seen Threads, which I believe 1984, I want to say, or thereabouts, it's difficult because 1984 is quite pervasive in the mind, because obviously there's a novel, and then there's the likes of the Terminator, stuff like that. It's a very, very good year for science fiction. Though depending on who you ask, 1984 is not necessarily science fiction anymore. But yeah, I can't remember. I'm sure Threads came out in 1984, but Threads is definitely one of the greatest horror movies ever made. And if you've never seen Threads, check it out. I'm pretty sure in the last year or two it got a new Blu-ray remaster released, and it's creme de la creme. But very, very, it's difficult to watch, particularly for some people, because it's just very fucking grim. Yeah, 82. 82 was even, but well, no, can you check though if it was 1984 that it came out? And I've got that stuck in my head. '82 was The Thing in Blade Runner. That is a good year. I love The Thing. I think The Thing might be my favourite horror film. Do you know, I had a big argument with people the other day that the original um, Terminator's a sci-fi horror, and they're like, oh, it's not a horror film at all. It's like, it fucking is. What is the difference between the Terminator and something like Friday the 13th being relentlessly stopped by a pursuer, and the way that that's fucking put together? You can't say that there isn't sci-fi horror elements in the original Terminator. The Thing is the thing's brilliant. Yeah, right. Hold on. Um, Threads. I need to confirm this. Yeah, 1984. I was right. Brilliant. Actually, when I was at a metal festival, there was a band. I can't remember their name, but they wholesale ripped off the traffic warden from Threads, and they had it in a band T-shirt. And I would have bought it had they not been out of stock, but I had no idea what the band was like, so it was potentially one of those dangerous poser T-shirts. You know, like the people these days that buy like Nirvana and Metallica T-shirts and they've never fucking listened to them. No, my luck, they would have been like a massively fucking right-wing band, and I would have get cancelled. Though, to be honest, I didn't need any help getting cancelled. I'm about this close at any given time. Top five? Oh, definitely. The thing's a brilliant movie. It's one of those ones I can just continually watch without any issues at all. That at any point, stick on the thing, I won't have an issue with it. Other movies, you're like, I watched that not that long ago. And Heat are two movies I can just anytime stick them on. That would be. It's a very iconic image. That I wish I could remember the name of the band. I'm sure at some point I took a photo of their stuff, but they'd ran out of. I think they only had like small size left, and as you can all tell, I'm not small in dimensions, so I wouldn't have been able to get away with it. You know, that's a kind of hilarious thing about Heat, because when you watch stuff after the fact of Al Pacino, he's always saying that they'd written into it and they'd always discussed the fact that Vincent Hanna was a cocaine addict, and that's why his like performance is like right off the fucking spectrum at certain points. But they never actually address it in the film, so there's just certain points where he's just off the fucking reservation. Great ass being a particular one. On that note, for anyone that likes or has had any of the Taschen books, like the art books, the Michael Mann one, all the shots from Heat and Manhunter and stuff like that, can't get enough of that. Yeah, it was something that Michael Mann and Al Pacino talked about a lot, and then it's never actually brought up in the movie. So there's just these moments of like extreme highs, which for anyone that actually knows someone that's an addict, a cocaine addict, will know that they obviously have these periods of just being off thing. But that it's never really explained. But that obviously there's kind of context within it where you've got a guy that's just like constantly switched on. He's always doing stuff, and his life's falling apart. And his entire life's devoted to the job. So the idea was supposed to be that the fucking level of energy that he has for it's just maintained by cocaine. But oh yeah, of course. Apparently, Tokyo Vice, his new TV series, meant to be pretty good. I haven't seen it yet, but meant to be good. I don't know what it's on. I think it might be on like fucking HBO or something like that, which is just a no-go for us here. I don't know if that means you can get it on Sky or whatever, but how are we doing in terms of? I've noticed the music's jumped up a wee bit. Hopefully, it's not too loud in the the background. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah. Tokyo Vice has just come out. There's also supposedly, well, there's a Heat 2 book that's just come out or is coming out or whatever, but they were talking again about doing a Heat 2 film, but I don't know. On that note, actually, does anyone see the Val Kilmer documentary? I keep meaning to watch it. Val Kilmer is one of the most underrated actors of all time. There's obviously a lot of people like to fucking have a go at him for various different things, but like Tombstone is a fucking Oscar-worthy performance. I mean, he's a good performance, but he doesn't have anything like as much to do in that compared to like De Niro or Al Pacino. But Tombstone's one of the greatest fucking performances of all time. Heat 2, Heat Harder. I think fucking if the gas and electricity prices keep going up, I think we're gonna fucking be hoping for the heat around the corner. Batman Forever's a funny one because there's a ton of deleted scenes that like go into like the pathos of the character and stuff, and there's like they filmed like a big scene of like him confronting things because at one point, because he gets shot in the head, if you remember, by Two-Face, and there's like a big bit where he gets like amnesia and forgets who he is, and he confronts this huge big bat. They create this huge animatronic bat, which I don't remember if it gets into the actual film, but it doesn't get into the same way because he fucking finds his dad's diary, and in it, like, there's a bit where it's basically saying Bruce wanted to go to the cinema, and it's basically saying, if you hadn't asked us to go to the cinema, me and your mum would still be alive. So he kind of has to deal with that, but tell you something for nothing though, that's whatever parallel universe exists where we could have gone and seen another Burton Batman, I'd be all over that. I know that's like the kind of ad libs for or the cliff notes for Batman. It's just like 5 minute bits where it's like, look, it's all your fault, Batman. You better make it all for it. Long story short, don't have kids, otherwise they'll make you go to the cinema and you'll get shot. It's kind of funny actually. I've got the chat. I mean, this is a boring observation, but you're gonna get it anyway. But the chat, like, I've got two different versions of the chat running now, and they're updating at different times. It's quite funny. Time when the news found survives that the Waynes died after going to see Shrek. Fuck off! That'd be amazing. So what's that like? I want to say 2002 Shrek movie. Could be wrong. Let me Google it. If I've got that right, I have an uncannily useless fucking ability to 2001. Oh, thank God. Oh well. No fucking career for me in guessing film dates. Shrek. That'd be so good. Can you imagine just the flashback to like Martha and is it Martha and Thomas Wayne getting shot to the sound of Smash Mouth? I mean, that would fucking stay with you for the rest of it. I don't know what people thought of the new Batman. I'm in two minds about it. I thought there were some things that were kind of interesting about it. I didn't like the fact he was like full on bulletproof. You know, there was like bits where he was coming in, people were just unloading on him, and like you could actually see all the bullets bouncing off him. Like, I didn't really like that. I kind of like him to be a bit more ethereal. Like, if he'd been in the darkness, people were shooting into the darkness and didn't do anything. But I know the fucking Batfleck, they were shooting him in the fucking head at point blank range and stuff like that. But I think Batman needs to be more of an entity, to be honest. On that note, apparently we've got Keaton coming back, which will be interesting. They did all the filming in Glasgow for the new Batgirl film that's coming out, which was a total pain in the arse, to be honest. Like, big parts of the city were shut off for it, and apparently, like, a lot of businesses had issues with them, like, just like fucking shuttering off their businesses, but like fences, and they were supposed to get money back from the council, and that never happened. They were supposed to get money back from the production, it didn't happen. So I think, as much as like it was kind of cool to have stuff going on, I think a lot of like wee business and stuff got fucked over. But there's supposedly a fucking Michael Keaton mural somewhere, but I've not found it. Michael Keaton as Batman, not just a Michael Keaton mural, but I fucking wish it was. Yeah, it was all over the Toronto. So it was like Parney Street and stuff like that, and all the way up to the top. But there was quite a few places up the top end which they just like put fucking fences in front of them. But Glasgow's had like back to back filming for quite a while, because they filmed the Indiana Jones. I don't know if that kicked off, but that was one of the big first big ones recently. They filmed Indiana Jones here, and then off the back of that, they did Flash filming, and then they did Batgirl filming, and now they're filming some IRA film. I think the Batgirl movie is going to be HBO only, but they're talking about releasing it on like actual cinema. But I think they've got issues with it, because the Flash movie was supposed to come first, but the fucking guy that's in that's like a fucking lunatic and assaulting cunt. So, alright, well, Court Musician, thank you very much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Pleasure as always. Oh, Big Brendan. Everyone fucking loves everyone loves about Brendan Fraser. There's a fantastic image I posted in the Discord a while back of Brendan Fraser like standing in a doorway like that's and oh, it's great. To be honest, I'd watch it if nothing else just for Brendan Fraser. I think he's had a fucking tough paper round, as old Brendan, and he doesn't deserve it. He seems like a fucking genuinely good boy. As far, and with you, Stephen, this is 100%. If I could, I might even fucking. You know what? I'm gonna retitle this stream the Brendan Fraser Appreciation Stream. Just in his name. Hold on. Let me just retype this just now. Talk amongst yourself. Brendan Fraser Appreciation Stream. And if anyone's got anything nice to say about him, just pop it in. If you like George of the Jungle, put it in. If you like The Mummy, let us know. There you go. Brendan Fraser Appreciation Stream. Oh, if you go back, I'm trying to think when the first. I mean, you can go all the way back to maybe to 2012 at least of me on Air Shifty Bun stuff, but you'll also find them like fucking 10 stone heavier. So, root guy. Right, 2 seconds. I'm going to switch back to the fridge cam very quickly. Just took the elevator there. Okay, just an update to everyone. We are on the last can of Guinness. After this can, this will be the end of the stream. Just to let people know. Very quickly run back. I could drink more, but I'm trying to get up and be fairly productive in the morning. George the Jungle, I had to watch it. George the Jungle was very entertaining. But yeah, there's also, I don't know if anyone's seen, what's the name of it? Something Doom Patrol. I I kind of I've not fully caught up with it, but the first series and some of the stuff that was quite good fun. So Brendan Fraser's been in that a TV series recently. Yeah, Doom Patrol. Ancilla, how's it going? But yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, there's been like a ton of stuff where they've tried to, they've tried to like obviously do filming and stuff here because Glasgow has a lot of shared architecture with the likes of Philadelphia and New York because some of the architects actually came across from Glasgow and went over to America to work because like Glasgow for example has got a grid block structure in the same way that like a lot of American cities do. So it gets used as a standard for filming quite a lot, but really, I mean, Glasgow is our biggest city with the highest population, and even then, it's tiny in compared to like a city in America. So when we have filming and stuff going on, and they shut down certain parts of it, it's way more destructive here than it is, like say in America. Um, Michelle Gomez is Michelle Gomez Jack Sparrow. Fucking thanks for coming on. Good to see you, mate. And yeah, good luck getting up in the morning. Don't accidentally drink an energy drink. Is Michelle Gomez the wee lassie that was in Orange Is the New Black? Because if it is, then yes. And aye, fucking Timothy Dalton is in it. Timothy Dalton is another fucking person extremely fucking underrated, much like Big Brendan. And as far as I'm concerned, obviously I've always got a soft spot for Sean Connery, but I would easily place Timothy Dalton as the second James Bond. Best James Bond for me. Easy. Controversial, but well, fucking stand by it. Didn't get enough movies. But yeah, Doom Patrol is worth watching. It's a very particularly. I started. I don't know. Is it on season 2 or 3 now? But it gets very very kind of conceptual and weird. So like you don't kind of want to watch it. It's like a kind of a casual watch. Like you need to be going into it, like appreciating the fact that it's going to go off the reservation. It's not like a Marvel movie. Let me just Google her to make sure it's the right person. Michelle Gomez. Oh fuck! Yeah, she's in the new. Oh Jesus Christ! Sorry, totally different. Yeah, Michelle Gomez is absolutely fantastic. If you've ever seen the series Green Wing, she's fucking brilliant in that. I never saw her run when she was in Doctor Who, but she's a phenomenal actress, Michelle Gomez. I didn't actually know her name, but yeah, she's incredible. So who's the one that I was thinking of? Let's see, Doom Patrol. Diane Guerrero. So I've just obviously made an assumption because of the second name Gomez. So I apologise for that. Yeah, the wee tiny one. She's they're both quite good. Yeah, Michelle Gomez is a fucking phenomenal actor. If anyone hasn't seen Green Wing, fucking check it out. Fantastic series, and she's very very good in it. Never actually knew her name, which is terrible of me. Though I don't know if she changed her name when she married or not, but oh, Penny Dreadful is a brilliant series. The first series is not bad. The second series was really good, and the third series was a bit unfortunate because they had to wrap it up really quickly. But Penny Dreadful was like leading up to something really great, like a fantastic casting. Eva Green was fantastic in it. Timothy Dalton was great in it. Who else did you have in it? The guy that was playing Frankenstein, I can't remember his actor. The Frankenstein in it was very good. Oh fuck, I can't remember that guy's name, but he was very good. No, I think was he called Frank, was he called Proteus in it? Maybe. They just bought Jekyll and Hyde into it, or Jekyll anyway, and then they had to like wrap it all up. So the last series was just like a disaster, but the second series had I can't remember the actress name, but she the one from Penny Dreadful that played Polly. She's very very good. She was like the ahead of like this kind of witches coven. Very very good. Did Billy Piper was and it was like a prostitute that died, and then Frankenstein bought her back, and then she was kicking about with Dorian Gray, if I remember correctly. I am in Chinatown, or China Building as we call it in Glasgow. They had a poster up once. I've got the photo somewhere. I'll need to try and find it, but they had a photo of Eva Green in the salon in there, and it was. I think it was L'Oreal, but down the bottom of it, it said French girl hair. It was like get French girl hair. Billy Piper and Chris Evans wasn't in. What do you call it? Unless it's a different Chris Evans. Okay, I'm not talking about the one from Thank God It's Friday. They were married. Oh, that's right, weren't they? That's But yeah, Penny Dreadful was it's a big recommend. And I was always very very sad that Penny Dreadful never came to anything. I think at one point recently they tried to make it into like a comic or a graphic novel, but massive wasted potential in it. And they brought because Josh Hartnett came into it, and it was kind of like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, in the sense it was bringing different people together, literary characters, but a lot better handled than the actual League of Extraordinary Gentlemen film. I'm going to very quickly jump to the bathroom, so I'll need you to talk to yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves, rather. My apologies there for that brief interlude. Yeah. Though it's quite funny actually. I don't know if anyone's ever read the original League of Gentlemen books, but they are very dark. Great use of classic literary characters, but the nobody really comes out of it looking particularly good. And the second one, which I think probably a lot of people aren't familiar with, is based around the H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, which is quite an interesting take on it. I know, right back. I thought earlier on I was typing out and I thought, what if I change right to right? Is that, I mean, you just don't get that level of quality anywhere else. It's just spontaneous thinking on the spot. So those, this is a very quick one. Those people that are working just now, is anyone going hybrid working at the moment, or is anyone being like forced to go back to work all the time? It seems to be a real mixture of people I'm talking to. There's some people that are back all the time. There's some people that are managing to get away. I thought this was going to be finally the time where like work would transition for people into actually managing to never have to go never have to go into work, but maybe not. For them. Yeah, so the first one is like dealing with Moriarty. The second one is H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. Is the third one 1984 or is that the fourth one? I can't remember. This one word is like 1984, but I think it's like it's not like Mina Harker and oh god, whoever it is that Sean Connery played in the film. Old dude. Um, oh god, can't remember the name of his character. Um, but there was that. There's that, and then there's one that's like set in the '60s. So I've only ever read the first two. What the fuck was Sean Connery's character in it? It's gonna really annoy me because the films get, or sorry, the first book's got Tom Sawyer, Mina Harker, Captain Nemo, Dorian Gray, the Invisible Man, and Alan Quatermain. Yeah, there you go. Um, uh, my job has both been keen to do, which seems nuts to me. Has never. It's only closed once. Jesus. Well, yeah, I know a few people in retail that haven't really had any kind of fucking solace from it. It's unfortunate, but yeah, they've kind of been trying to push in the UK or certain people have been trying to push in the UK for quite a while to have like a 4 day working week, which is the way that they have it in some some places in Europe, but not that we're in Europe anymore. But that's a touchy subject. We For me, I travel to like another city for my work, so working from home is actually quite an advantage. But I know not everyone's been that lucky. There must have been some. I mean, working in somewhere like Target, there must have been some bananas times over COVID. I imagine all the hoarding and stuff like that. 30 to 50. I'm sure there is one that's certain that tackles 1984 though. People in the UK just don't like people to enjoy life. That's fair enough. Yeah, I think there's kind of a slightly weird bitterness thing here where it's just like if someone else is enjoying something more than you are, you take solace in ruining it for them. It's like rather than trying to like improve your own situation, it's better to just fucking sink there. Jackie boy, thank you very much, man. Always a pleasure. I'll catch you in the Discord. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Everything was character building. But yeah, so I guess to snap back to Ghastly Tale stuff, there is more Ghastly Tale stuff coming. I need to finish this next episode, so I need to get up early morning to do it. I could finish it with the existing footage, but I'm a bit of a stickler. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination any of the stuff I do is perfect because it's far from it. But there's some stuff I do want to go back and do. So I'm gonna go back and try and get the last shots of that in the morning, which will mean I can hopefully get it finished this week, or get the edit finished this week, which means I can put it out for the week after. So there's that. Mike and I are going to hook up to do stuff. Alan and I have actually got the next episode of Anime Nasties show. I think we shot it like middle of last year. And I couldn't find the fucking intro stuff for it, so we've been having to redo the intro stuff. So that's waiting to go out. So there's that as well. And then yeah, like I said, if I can get some things worked out, I want to kind of go back to doing some of the on location streaming stuff, or some of the other streaming stuff of kind of going somewhere, filming, bringing it back, and then doing like a live commentary on it, maybe getting Mike and stuff like that involved in it. Because like I said, one of the big issues that I deal with is going to a place and the internet's not good enough. And to like stream in certain places as well, it's like you need to invest in a ton of stuff. Like a lot of the people you see that are actually like going to places and like filming have maybe paid for like 3 or 4 like in America I guess you'll say cellular, but here it's like mobile broadbands or phone packages or whatever. So they've got like 4 sims they're running to try and get a connection good enough to do it. So it's quite a costly endeavor to go there and do stuff. So it's great when you can get stuff to work. So yeah, hopefully that would kind of be a bit of a fallback for certain things, because like we did that, for example, when we went out to Inchconnecan, when we went out to that island there with the wallabies and stuff on it. We had planned to do like a little mini stream there, but that kind of fell through, so we ended up doing a video, and the video turned out pretty well. That island is actually sold to someone recently, but because of the nature of the way that it is, even though it's privately owned, they can't still stop people going on it. It's kind of an interesting from a legal standpoint. Because I guess you would think if you spent all that money, you'd be able to stop people going on it, but you can't. Which is cool in a way, because it's a very, very cool island. But unfortunately, a lot of these places have got a lot of issues with just local dickheads going across and oh god, I don't know, all of a sudden. Try not to show that on camera. Going across, causing a lot of issues with the rubbish and stuff like that. And then there's another batch of issues with that island as well, where there's issues with like people trying to cull the wallabies and stuff like that. And I think there's like an official order where they're trying to kill them off as well. So I hope it leads to some kind of situation like the Australian emu war, and the wallabies end up winning and taking over that island. I think that'd be great. Big Elon, yeah. Fucking certainly making waves at the moment. You know, this is the first time I've actually had a beer in quite a while. I used to drink beer all the time. I mean, obviously I know this is a stout, but I don't drink so much these days, but maybe if I get back to doing the streaming, that'll all change. I'm still disappointed in myself that I drank that energy drink, because unfortunately I bought that. It's almost like in my mind I knew I was going to make a mistake, because I bought that second energy drink as a backup. And I don't know why I bought it the time doing it, but it's almost like a little bit in the back of my brain thought, you're going to fuck this up. You're going to accidentally drink the one that you've got for getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Thank God I've got a spare. Note to self, always bring a little bit of advice I can impart to people. Always have a backup for everything. I guess that's why Doctor Who's got 2 hearts. I tell you, they've turned out quite well, these Crystal Skull bottles. I mean, obviously, I've just been drinking them out. You can't really see, I've got all the wee mini ones down there. See them down the bottom right, including, what's about X-Files? What? This, if it wants to focus, can I just replace my head with that and will it focus on that? Focus on this? That's very disappointing. There you go. Outer Space Vodka. It's particularly good. Not quite as good as Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull, but it's pretty good. not a thing to be reaching for. And then there's all the wee tiny ones. I do like collecting the wee mini ones. It is a ridiculous fucking way to buy Crystal Skull, but the wee ones are pretty funky. It's a wee bit of dust there. That's realism for you. Look at that there, nice bit. Shallow depth of field. If we keep that right, get the thumbnail off of that. Is this area shifty bun? No. It never stopped being an area shifty bun secretly. It was always shifty bun. Area shifty bun always I like to do them Pride. They do a Pride version of it, which I was trying to get hold of. I've tried to get hold at certain points of the different types of ones, but the Pride one was always like really expensive, and it's just the same stuff, so I never ended up buying it. Oh, because of the alien head, of course. So Area Shifty Bun always lives on in our heart, so it never dies. I'm sure, because some of the other different types of ones were actually like so there's like Onyx, and there's a couple other ones that are slight variations in the recipe, but I think the Pride one's just a different colour bottle, but I could be stand to be corrected, but it is very funky. Anyone get any particularly exciting plans for the weekend then? It's kind of weird because like here at the moment it feels like things have started to open back up. I mean they've been open for a while, but like we've got this weird juxtaposition where like you don't need to wear a mask anymore. Like if you've got COVID you don't need to isolate anymore, but the cases like seem to be going through the roof. So I feel we're as close as back to normality as we've ever been in quite a long time. I have to periodically check to see. This is the first time I've ever played like audio in the background. We still got time. So I'm just checking that it's not changed to like a fucking Alex Jones video or something like that. Just shocked it's me. Time's coming in fucking quick enough. Tell me about it. It is pretty wild, if I'm honest. But I'm what's this? Working my way through a horror anime thing from the 2000 but a guy behind Devilman. Probably going to finish that. It's pretty good. Kind of a gear. Oof. That sounds very interesting. Is that perhaps something of the anime Nazi's persuasion, or? Yeah, it's kind of funny actually because you know, like you realise like with COVID and everything, with the lockdown, it's like time seemed to, and this is going to sound a bit strange, but I think I've said this to quite a few people and they've resonated with it. It feels like time moves simultaneously very fast in terms of like all this time was passing and it felt like time was wasting, but also simultaneously went very slowly because there was only a certain types of things you could do. So it was this weird kind of thing between, it's like all the time was going or weight slipping away from you because you weren't achieving a lot of things you wanted to do, but at the same time, because you weren't achieving things you wanted, things were going quite slowly. I don't know if everyone felt the same way, but there's a few people I've spoken to that certainly felt that way. But it moved quite. Yeah, like for me personally, when I mean, like leaving my work, like the last day when I was at work was like the last chopper out of Saigon, and I remember the morning, everyone would be like, "Oh, we don't necessarily," because I'd already packed up all my fucking stuff. People were like, "Oh, we don't necessarily know that we're going yet." I was like, "Well, I'm fucking going. I'm out the door." And then lo and behold, about 10 minutes later, they were like, "Oh shit, yeah, we are going." And I was just like, "See you in fucking 2 years." But yeah, it's kind of a funny one where it's like I definitely felt like for the initial part of it, the novelty aspect and fucking going out, we just hadn't experienced anything like that before, so it was just very surreal and different. But when you look back, there was this very tragic period where really actually the only thing you could do in your day was go to the supermarket, and I'm going to have to come out now at the risk of incriminating myself and say that there were some days where I went to the supermarket twice. I know we were only meant to go the once, but sometimes I went twice just to avoid the unbelievably unrelenting boredom that was coming in. I know I'm not proud of it. It's an exclusive. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that that's like 2 years. 2 years just like melted away. Well, we're past the 2 year mark now because that would have been March 2020. So yeah, I know. Very. I know. I hope we don't have to deal with anything like it again. But yeah, it was crazy, and do you know what? It's like it was one of those things that made you realize that everything was just like everything was just driven by just like panic. You know, you just had this scenario where people were just like eh, oh, oh, I was in the supermarket today and they'd ran out of stuff, and you went to it and you bought everything, but actually people just hadn't gone and bought everything. There would have been plenty of stuff for everybody. So no, it got out of fucking hand fast. At one point I remember, at that point I was kicking about, and a few of us had got together, and like none of the supermarkets at that point had any pasta or flour or anything, and I found this Chinese supermarket that had like big bags of flour, and I bought like a huge big fucking bag of flour, and I never did anything with it. It's just fucking like just went out of date because like back then everyone was, oh, we'll bake bread, we'll go back to, we'll build a windmill in the garden, like there was this weird period where everyone was convinced that we're going to go back to like feudalism and be completely self-sufficient, and it was like, but they were still going to the fucking supermarket every day. I don't know. So it's a few weeks later trying to, oh, they were trying to return it. Yeah, well, fucking quite right. It's the same way. I love that scenario where it's like, I don't have any people buying and problems having buying in bulk. If you go somewhere like Costco or something, you buy a bunch of stuff at once because you're like, right, this will last me forever and I don't need to go. But the people that were panic buying and then buying stuff to fuck over other people, it's like, yeah, like if they ended up in a situation later on where they're like, oh fuck, I want to return this, then if they weren't able to do so, then that's good, because like the compassion for anyone else just went out the fucking window. It was everyone for themselves for a while. Yeah, Amazon. All right. Toilet paper disinfectant mat, rubbing alcohol, hand sanitizer, Pokemon. Do you know? I have to say, for me, it was great because like lockdown was the making of me because I managed to get out and I was out on my bike every single day and I lost a ton of weight. My fitness massively fucking improved. And so this was like kind of more expected. So for me personally, and I actually felt, and both Martin and I have had a discussion about this where we were in kind of slightly similar situations where we both had jobs, but we were kind of, things weren't really happening for a while. For at least a couple of months, nothing was really happening because it took them a while to kind of work out how the new status quo was going to be. So Martin and I both had a kind of a quote unquote survivor's guilt where we were having a great time and like things were really, really good for us, but you were speaking to other people that had maybe lost their jobs or things weren't so well or family members were ill and stuff like that. So like you had to kind of be quite careful going around being like, oh yeah, things are great for us, because you might speak to somebody else who everything was just going completely tits up for them. Sonny Bean, Ghastly Trails. No, that was 2019. So the two first Ghastly Trails that happened were both in 2019, because I did that one, and then I did the Overton one, and then not. I really did fuck all during lockdown. I really should have done more. And Ghastly Trails actually only restarted this year. Let's see. Let's read the chat. Oh yeah, like everything. I mean, anything that could go. And you know, there was obviously like a lot of people that made a ton of money getting a hold of stuff. But whenever you heard those things where like people had gone out and hoarded stuff purely with the idea of selling it on to fuck people over, and then later on the value of it dropped or the demand for it dropped, and they got stuck with a bunch of it, they couldn't sell it anymore. I don't like to bask in other people's misery, but in that particular case, I felt quite good that people were getting fucked over. But yeah, I don't. Well, I'd like to hope not, but I don't think we'll ever like. Oh fuck! Battery exhausted. Oh fuck! Hang on. That doesn't make any sense because it's plugged in. Okay, well, somehow the camera that was plugged in has managed to exhaust its battery, so what I'm going to have to do is, hold on. As per usual, deeply professional. Yeah, I don't know, I should have brought my phone with me actually, but I'm pretty much right now. Going 2 seconds. I know what some of you guys are probably thinking, that things were going a little bit too well, and I had to return to that Ghastly Tales level of jankiness. But yeah, somehow the camera that was plugged in, the battery is exhausted. I'm not entirely sure how that's managed to happen, but yeah, this is pretty much empty, so it feels like a good time to sign off, I guess. Oh, no, everything's still going. So yeah, thank you for everyone for tuning in, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. And hopefully, we'll get back to doing these streams on a more regular basis. And I don't want to say that there's not going to be any technical hiccups in the future ones, but you know, I can't guarantee that. But thanks for everyone for tuning in. It's been great to chat with you guys and catch up. And as always, for those that have Discord and they aren't already on the Discord, if you look in the description, you will see a link to the Discord. So it'd be great to catch some of you guys in there. But yeah, we'll try and do this more regular, and I'll see if I can get the likes of Michael and stuff on in future. A date for Silent Hill 2. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, a pleasure as always. So I wish I had my wee fucking keyboard because I could go over there and do it. But I'm now gonna have to sprint back in a rather embarrassing fashion and turn that off over there. But yeah, like I said, thanks for everyone for hanging out. Good to catch up with you guys, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Fucking hell. Maybe I'll do the elevator. That's maybe more dignified. Oh fuck, I managed to trip up. Amazing.